What's going on, heavy hitters? Come on in, y'all. Welcome to Heavy Hitterville. If this is your first time, we do a little bit of everything. We do some reviews, rants, and reads. And at this moment, we're going to review Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 5, Pie in the Sky in Austin. Baby, let me tell you something. I went to college in Austin. I don't see how they thought Austin would be fun, but those are adult women. Some of them are multiracial. Um, so I can see why they may think, but Austin is not a place for Black people when it comes to entertainment. But it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get started, y'all. So Ashley, Mia, and Jazelle meet up to go shopping for the trip to Austin. And again, I went to college in Austin. So there's not much there that you need to really go shopping for. You can seriously just pull things out of your drawers and your closet and go to Austin. Because Austin is beautiful, has like hills and terrain, lovely sunsets, but you don't need to go shopping to hang out in Austin. Like, Ashley, come on now. This was nothing but a filler scene because the three of them needed to film and sit around and talk about Wendy. As a matter of fact, let me lean on in and have this heavy conversation. Pause me, please. Can we wrap this Ena and Wendy thing up, please? Jazelle, you have nothing going for you, so you automatically are joining. Let's save that for later. Again, Ashley, me, and Jazelle meet up because they need to go shopping for Austin. Of course, they begin to start speaking about accommodations and what's needed to wear. Jazelle brings up Ena. She's automatically a brand new woman that you've never met. Oh, I believe her. I believe her because I don't like Wendy. She didn't say that, but let's just be clear. Anything anybody says about Wendy, Mia, Jazelle, and Robin, the light brights, are going to automatically be on their side because they just don't like Wendy. They don't like her because she's more intelligent than them, and she does not mind reminding you. Again, as I said earlier, it's just a filler scene, so it's really not too much to talk about. But of course, Jazelle is the ringleader of the I Hate Wendy crew. While we're having this conversation, we move on over, and Wendy and Happy Ada are having breakfast. And of course, they're discussing what happened the day previously at pickleball. They're both like, man, this is a lot. Like, what is really going on? I'm going to be honest, like I said in my last video, I really do think Eddie was scared. I stand on that. He may not have been. It just appeared that. But I do believe that Eddie was just taken aback. Like, and I think Eddie has what Candy from Housewives of Atlanta has, this nervous reaction where Candy laughs based off of nerves. Eddie just continues to smile because in this episode, he says, I'm a nice guy. I just smile. So he's like, I'm happy Eddie. Yes, you are. Yes, you are happy Eddie. And I really think you were taken aback and like, production, really? This what we doing? Like, come on, man. Y'all pulling me into this women's mess. I feel bad for Eddie. Again, they're talking about it and they're conversing on how idiotic it is. And they're talking about the severity of what Ena is doing, especially on this show when melanated women with a darker pigment are already being potentially victims of colorism. Now, I agree, some do not. And yet you have this other Nigerian woman coming on the show causing problems that is just highlighting and making the other light brights and the green-eyed bandits think they're really doing something. As a matter of fact, look at this picture from the argument that is happening between Ena and Wendy. It looks like Jazelle is rejoicing. I don't care what anybody says. That's exactly what it looks like. And I'm sure that's what she's doing. She's down there talking to her flunky hairstylist. And they're probably down there like, girl, look, that's what I'm talking about. We get back over to Jazelle, and Jazelle is talking about, because I called Jamal, and Jamal said, that's some serious stuff. You don't want to deal with that. Jazelle, so you just gonna call the husband that you keep calling a cheater to talk about that? I hope you were talking about the children because there's really nothing else for y'all to talk about because you don't mind reminding everyone of how horrible of a husband he was to you. Anyway, like I said, she says that she believes Ena, and then they begin to crack jokes about Ike. Total filler scene. They could have really kept this. And you know what? As a matter of fact, RHOP, baby, wrap this up. Wrap this up. Housewives of Potomac, y'all are in trouble. If this is the route production that you want to go in, people are not going to keep continuing to just see these same ladies have the same issues. It's just becoming a mess. We flip back over to Eddie. Eddie is like, man, I don't have issues with anyone. I just don't really understand. Flip back over to Jazelle. Jazelle has the audacity to say that they are all working together for the good of evil. The only one evil is you, the green-eyed Grinch bandit. It is just ridiculous. Someone so beautiful is so evil. Bless your heart. Your children have got to be embarrassed of you. We move over to Ena and Ike, who are at an appointment. They're checking everything with her vitals and what's going on with them being able to conceive and what the issues are. Apparently, we find out that the doctor is also Nigerian. He and Ike have some similarities or familiarity of something. I don't know. I didn't even pay attention to it. This is a filler episode because, again, I don't even think Nneka belongs here. They continue the appointment, and the importance of Nneka being 35 is discussed. As she mentioned, when they first got married, there was not a concern about them having children. They wanted to travel the world, which most young professional, wealthy, and financially stable individuals tend to want to do. They want to live life before they begin to have families and have to be tied down to that specifically. The results come in. Fertility is okay. Ike is cracking jokes, and Nneka's just being really rude. Like, there is this sense of rudeness to Nneka that I just do not care for. Like, girl, shut up. We move over to Mia and Gordon, who are getting ready to attend a counseling session. So please understand right here, pause it, please. Mia is working on her exit strategy. She begins to have the conversation with the counselor, what all the issues are with them. I'm not going to go into detail because this is complete BS. What I will focus on is that Mia has a problem that Gordon works. Gordon has been voted out of your primary source of income, which you were a boss. I'm a CEO. I make $400K a year. You both have been fired from this. He, as you say in this session, has other streams of income. He's now grinding. He's getting it because he wants to ensure if something happens to him that the family is taken care of. And you're saying you're having a problem that he spends too much time doing these other streams of income or putting too much effort into them because he financially wants to make sure his family is good. I'm sorry, drop down in the comments. Am I the only one confused by the fact that this man knows how he got you, is how he needs to keep you, which in essence, as we now have found out why he lost you, because they're separated, because it's based off of money. But when this man was out there grinding, trying to go get it at his age, you're sitting here on this couch crying, talking about you don't want him to work that hard? Girl, she was setting up her exit strategy, as I just said previously. The doctor falls for it, and she's like, I just think you have a problem with, losing family and things of that nature. Apparently, they sold something. The person that sold it kept some money and was a thief, was disbarred. It was some issues. Then he unalived himself. I don't know. Mia, these stories they just become more and more extravagant. At this time, the ladies are all packing for Austin, and we have a few montages of them talking on the phone to various people. Robin's on the phone, I think, talking to her mother. Ashley is on the phone talking to the nanny who is checking on the kids. Jazelle is chatting with her kids because, again, they're all getting ready for Austin. We have an airport scene. The ladies arrive. They land in Austin. The transportation arrives, and we automatically go into this mathematical decision on who rides with whom. Ridiculous. These adult women. I don't even like her. You don't like someone enough to sit down and have to ride to get to your housing? Robin, shut up. Jazelle, shut up and just ride your ass to this nice hotel. Robin is in the car complaining, I thought Ashley was my friend. Why am I in this car with Candace? Candace is also acting like she doesn't understand why Robin doesn't like her. Candace is also acting confused. She's like, why aren't we able to speak to one another? This is really awkward. Y'all don't like each other. Candace, I think you really like Robin, and Robin is stuck on the fact that you read her ass because of how fake she was. And she just doesn't understand, Robin, you're being held accountable for sitting there riding for your girl Jazelle for the bullshit that she did with my husband. All along, she was having issues with her own husband. I cannot wait for the reunion because I cannot wait for somebody to call Robin out for her hypocrisy. The conversations happening between the two separate cars, because again, there's 4 ladies in this one and 4 ladies in that one. Well, they're all right, kind of interesting. We now arrive at the hotel. We see the rooms. We begin to eat, and Ashley assigns the rooms. Ashley has a presidential suite. Jazelle asks her, all of our rooms like this? She says, no, but Robin has a suite because we know that she's been going through some things and she's been really stressed. Pause me, please. Robin has stressed herself out by being 100% that bitch who does not care. While they're sitting there eating, they bring up the fact of differences between Karen and Robin. Karen gives this really crazy analogy of pies and portions of the pie and where Robin and her stand in the portions of quarters. Baby, Potomac, y'all are in trouble. What the hell is happening here? It's trash. They hand out the keys. The girls go to their rooms. Everybody's like, this is nice. This is nice. We're going to meet up and sit by the pool. They meet up by the pool. And first, we have Wendy, Karen, and Candace meet up, and they have the conversations. They're talking about the differences between Ena. Wendy says that she can be cordial, and she doesn't know this woman from a can of paint. See, all of this is just so confusing because there is some familiarity somewhere between Ena, Ike, Wendy, and Eddie. Whether you know each other or you're familiar with one another, there's something there. Because Wendy, for you to jump up and say she's been jealous of you since day one, what kind of reaction is that for somebody you just met? Day one, since when now? Day one since we saw each other at the house, at the housewarming? Like, what is it? None of that makes sense. And as Wendy is dropping these receipts, let's look at what she's dropping. She's dropping these receipts of how there's been conversations almost 3 years ago, things about the baby. I mean, it's just, this is, you really brought someone production. You really brought someone on to do this? Like, this is asinine and it's embarrassing. Ashley arrives next. After Ashley arrives, Jazelle and Ena arrive. It becomes immediately awkward because now, half and half don't like one another. Jazelle doesn't have her mouthpiece Robin with her. Well, now she got her new flunky, Ena, with her. Karen says, hey, look, we've got to address the elephant in the room. You and Candace sitting around one another, not speaking is just weird. If you cannot fix the friendship, then we need to kind of figure things out, or what can we do? They start kind of conversing and kind of chatting at the same time. Candace says, well, she just feels that if she doesn't speak to me, that I'll go away. And she says, that's not the truth because my black ass is sitting right here. And then Giselle's like, I've never said that. I've never said that. You dummy, Nick. She is not saying that you literally said it. Your actions are indicating that that is your belief because that's what you guys do. That's what the green-eyed bandits do. You guys choose not to film or speak to a particular person in order to try to ice them out. That's why I'm glad Monique left, because y'all were trying to ice them out after you caused the situation. Now, yes, she and Candace had some issues, but you guys didn't help it. Anyway, that's not where we are at this particular moment. Jazelle comes up with this ridiculous excuse of why she chooses not to engage Candace based off her reputation and the safety of her family. Candace has to remind her, well, was not my family's reputation and safety not in a concern? Was that not a point of your contention, your story, and the lie that you told last year? Something is wrong with Jazelle, and she has been given too many passes to be able to do the BS that she does to keep from having to talk about her life. Like, Jazelle, you had a whole health scare last year, so you say. Your twins are growing up, and then your daughter is preparing for college. Like, can we see the real you, please? Can we see the real Jazelle? Like, and now you walking around with this little teeny bopper. Girl, she got production. What y'all doing? What are y'all doing? In a confessional, Jazelle not reinforces. Jazelle changes her story and says, Candace, I told you your husband made me uncomfortable because he made me go to a room and close the door. Well, where did this version come from? What iteration is this? Is this iteration 29? Because it has consistently changed. Now it's he made me go to a room and close the door. Girl, what? Pause me, please. Bitch, stop lying. The fuck? You yourself said he asked you, could we talk? You said, hey, you, Jazelle, let's go to my room. And then you said in the reunion, I felt that my glam squad was there, so I'd be safe. Not why would Chris make you feel unsafe? You've always said he's been a gentleman. Why would I felt it? Now it's, oh, he made me go upstairs and close the door. Girl, Jazelle, you want to talk about Wendy is evil? Please. Robin and Mia hadn't made it over to the cabana by the pool yet because Mia wants to have a talk with Robin because they have a familiar situation. When Robin lost all of Juan's money, it was something with a deal going wrong and the man unalived himself. Well, that's kind of the situation with Mia, with the guy that stole the money. Whatever the sale was, he kept saying, and then all of a sudden he stopped communicating and unalived himself. So they have that little moment, little filler scene. If it's real, I mean, it would be a great time for them to talk about something that's familiar. And if it's real, they should have went more in depth about it. Like they should have talked about it more because that's real. That's what I want to see. I want to see more real situations. I want to see more fabulosity. I want to see what it's really like to live behind the gates. Now, I don't really want to see how people live that live like my parents because my parents aren't on this show, right? I don't want to just see people who live in nice neighborhoods. I mean, my parents live in a nice neighborhood. I want to see people who are, I want to see the cha-chings. Oh, I just spent 80,000 for this. Oh, I spent 100. Oh, we're traveling to the south of France. I want to see the private jets, the traveling overseas. I don't want to see y'all going to Austin. The fuck, y'all's group trip is to Austin, Texas. What the fuck? Potomac, y'all in trouble. And it's sad that the black shows, in my opinion, are the ones who get treated so poorly. Bitch, they flew y'all to Austin for a group trip. Girl, get the yeah. We're back to the pool. We're ordering drinks, and the conversation starts up with the Ena. Oh, poor Wendy. Both of y'all are lying. Both of you are lying. Wendy, you know her. Your mama probably partially did some of it. I don't know about the witchcraft, but your mama probably did call to check whoever, because I do believe Ena was using the association of you all's background to try to get on the show. Oh yeah, I know Wendy. So they were like, oh, cool. According to the episode of the recap that Carlos King did, he got a little backstory that Ena was calling around trying to use Wendy to get on the show, and production wanted Wendy to introduce her as her friend, and she was like, that's not my friend, so why would I introduce her? And now it's being all turned around that she didn't want another Nigerian woman on the show. Well, I wouldn't introduce somebody that's not my friend either. You see that Wendy introduced Kiana, who was the one that beat up the Muppet character in that fight that was seen at the club when y'all know. Y'all seen it all. If you haven't, go to Twitter. It should be on there. We start this conversation again about the witchcraft and all this voodoo. That is just so unfortunate, and it's so heartbreaking that two beautiful chocolate women amongst this group of women who don't like one of your chocolate beautiful sisters, because you're both Nigerians and apparently from the same tribe, you're just feeding this narrative, and you're talking about these spirits and religions, and you're making it negative and shrines, this, and it's so heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. And Potomac, if this is what you're going to do, a lot of us will not continue to watch, because this is not what we come for. Like, we want to see catfights and funny and reads and stuff, but this is too dark. It's just, this is problematic for real. Y'all had this fake pseudo colorism conversation, and then this is what we're doing. So we're right back at it, because this is a level of colorism just amongst two people, while light rights are behind her just celebrating and having a good girl. Potomac, y'all in trouble. To me, Ena is just full of hate. She's a hateful woman. I don't know why. For some people that just have so much, who have to be so hateful, just the way that she talks and communicates to her husband alone displays a level of hate. And the hate that she's showing towards Wendy, for whatever reason, is just crazy. Maybe she really is upset that Wendy did not want to introduce her as a fake friend. Hell, I wouldn't introduce you either if you weren't my real friend. As we go into the confessionals, Ashley, Jazelle, Robin, all are saying how they believe in Ena. Of course you do, because you were never going to listen to Wendy's side. In the argument, somehow Jazelle involves herself, and she's like, well, your mom said the same thing to Mia. Mia walks up at this time, and she's like, Mia, didn't Wendy's mom also say something similar to you like that? And she was like, wait, what? Wendy pulls out her phone. This didn't really help her, in my opinion. Starts reading what her mom said to Mia. Mia's like, oh, wow, great, thanks. I kind of forgotten about that. Well, thank you, Jazelle. Thank you, Mia. Thank you, homegirl Jazelle, because she just has to be in this mess so badly that she has to use your pain in order to try to prove a point. But that's your friend. That's your friend, Mia. Yeah, that's your friend now? That's your friend? Oh, God. It's crazy. It's crazy. We get into the conversation a little more about foolishness and showing flips and flashbacks, and oh, Wendy, production is not your friend. You are getting the villain, not the villain, but the liar edit. You are, because the way that they flash back when she says, well, how do you not know Iba Liba, whatever her name is, and she was at your so-and-so 3 years ago, and you spoke highly well of her. Now, I help drop down in the comments and correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think she never said she didn't know the girl. I think she said that she wasn't friends with her like that, and that was her sister-in-law's or her sister Ivy's friend. But Ineka got you because you said 3 years ago at whatever this was, as christening, or that she was the model person that you should model yourself after. You kind of have to know somebody and interact with them to put them on that particular level. Child. Well, that was how the episode ended, and in my opinion, Wendy and Neka got you, baby. On the last one, unless you're gonna be able to come back and clean this up, she got you, girl. In Neka 2, ding, Wendy -3. Y'all drop in the comments. Let's talk about it like we always do. Be sure to go to all of my social media. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok under Heavy Hitter Media. And until the next time, y'all be easy. Peace.